permission, asking help and support from our Shaykh, SahibulSaif, Shaykh Abdulkerim, Kibrisi, Rabbani, taking it from him to send to us something that is going to give benefit to us. In these days of complete darkness, sohbat is even more necessary. That's why they're not making sohbat, because it's very necessary. How are you going to navigate your way through this mess of this world if there is no sohbat? How are you going to navigate? Oh, we have Quran, we have Hadith. Don't you see? Everyone who's making the mess in this world, they are also taking from Quran, they're also taking from Hadith. Just today, a few hours ago, they blew up, well, they attacked, they didn't blow up the masjid. They attacked the masjid in Egypt. And the people they were worshipping, and they were running out from the masjid and they were gunning them down. Men, women, and children. Who is doing this? Jews are doing this. Christians are doing this. The West, those calling themselves Muslims are doing this. Those who say, we believe in Allah. Those who say we believe in the Prophet. But those who say, we don't take any authority from no one. We take directly from Allah and His Prophet. Which means now you're going to take it with your ego. You're going to take it with the shaytan. Because you are going to push aside 1,400 years of tradition, 1,400 years of the friends of Allah that is keeping this ummah in safety from people taking the religion and going to a shaitanic way with the religion. It didn't just happen 100 years ago. It didn't just happen today. It happened 1,400 years ago. This is a reality. People, Muslims also not, I never hear anyone saying, oh, ISIS, they're asking, why is coming? Oh, it's only happened 100 years ago. It only happened. No, it didn't only happen 100. Nothing that is happening, challenging this ummah, it is a shock and it is surprise. Because the believers, they look with the nur of Allah. They will always know what the enemy is up to, because we are concentrating on the enemy that is inside of us. If you know their tricks and traps, how are you going to get shocked? The Wahhabism, it didn't come out just 100 years ago. It has been there since the time of the Prophet ﷺ. Those who call themselves Muslims, but they are munafiqs. Those who call themselves Sahabis, but they are munafiqs, they are hypocrites. Those who take things and twisting it according to their ego, according to shaitan, according to their dunya. In the time of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, there was a group. In his own time, there was a group. And the characteristics of that group is exactly the same as the characteristics of the group they call themselves terrorists today. And that group that was there, the Kharijis, Khawarij, that is continuing for 1,400 years, always after some time they come up, the Khalifah, which is the sword of Allah on earth, cuts off their necks and they go down. They come up, they go down. They come up and they go down. But these ones, what kind of confusion they are making? Are they making confusion to the Kafirs? No. Are they going to attack the Jews and the Christians? No. They're attacking the Muslims first. They are massacring the Muslims first. Those people that were being attacked today, they were being attacked because they were celebrating the Mawlud. And those ones saying you cannot celebrate the Mawlud because this is shirk. Because it's shirk, you are kafir. Because you are kafir, you're worse than the unbelievers. You are kafir because you became murtad. You came out from Islam. So now your blood, it is halal to us. We must kill you. This is the group. This is this world. This is the reality of this world. There is always going to be very sick, evil people. There are always going to be tyrants. It doesn't matter if from your family or from your nation or from your religion. This is the reality of this world. If you have the religion and you're not going to check yourself, if you're not going to step on your ego and understand what is the tricks and traps, sit down properly. Don't sit like a Buddha. You're interrupting sohbat all the time. This is what shaitan is doing. Always. But you're not understanding how shaitan is using you. You're not checking yourself. With simple things, we say take it, rather that you hesitate 100 times if I say simple. Now, simple things, you should be rushing. Now, when something that is obviously shaytan is trying to manipulate you, to trick you, to trap you, you don't hesitate. Straight away you do it. Why is that? Because man doesn't know himself. Because his knowledge is now lost. This knowledge of man knowing himself is lost. No one is teaching it in madrasas. No one is teaching in masjids. No one is teaching it in the dergahs these days. Subhanallah. Everyone became awliya. Everyone is connected. Everyone became holy. You think those ones who attack the people today, you think they don't consider themselves holy? You think they don't consider themselves to be the ones who are defending Allah and His Prophet? They do. And what do? They slaughter the Muslims. First thing that they do that. From that time until today, they do that. Then, when they get bored a little bit with the Muslims here and there, then they start attacking unbelievers. But who made them? Who made them to give power? Because definitely for 1,300 years, whenever they come out, they were not given any power. They were killed, they were massacred. Not massacred, they were killed, they were destroyed. Their necks were cut off so that they don't come out and they make this kind of fitna and bloodshed that we see today. Their Shaykh Ibn Taymiyyah, the one who came out first with these kind of shaitanic ideas, that the ijma of the ulamas at that time condemning him. And he was punished. He was punished. His books, they were all burned. And they're saying, you're not doing anything. Muslims are not doing anything. You're not saying enough. We did more than that. But you have fed this monster. You have fed it. You have kept it alive. And now, and you have trained it to attack us first. And now it's biting the hand that fed him. It's biting your hand and you're complaining. But majority of the people, they're sleeping. Because they're going with this 1,400 years of the hatred of Islam, based on the ignorance of Islam. If they had some knowledge of the Prophet ﷺ, they say it is impossible for a man like this to teach something like that. Then it's not coming from him. It is impossible for a man who has intelligence. That's why the Emperor Heraclius, he had intelligence. He was a Christian Orthodox emperor. And when Abu Sufyan went there and said, be careful, there is one man declaring himself to be the last prophet. He's saying, did he ever tell a lie? No. Then he is not one that is going to be giving confusion and leading people away from peace and putting them into a disaster. Did he tell a lie? He never told a lie. For 40 years he didn't tell a lie. Then he said, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. The emperor himself had enough sense and intelligence to say a man who doesn't lie for 40 years, he cannot just wake up to tell a lie. It is impossible. Who are around him? Who are around him? And Abu Sufyan said, they are the worst in the society. Like who? Like the orphans. Like the widows. Like the slaves. He says, good. Because every prophet, when they came, those were their followers. So there is no sohbat. The prophets came to give sohbat. So without any sohbat, people don't know how to navigate through this mess. They just take from here, they take from there, they take from the Quran, they take from the Hadith, and they interpret any way they want. And the West is saying, of course you have to interpret any way that you want. Why? You are going to follow the Imams. So you understand now who is supporting Wahhabism. Because the Wahhabism is saying, don't follow the Imams. Make your own ijtihad. And who is telling us to make our own ijtihad? Is the West telling us, no, you have to follow Imam Malik, you have to follow Imam Hanbali, you have to follow Imam Hanafi, you have to follow Imam Hanafi, you have to follow Imam Shafi'i, you have to follow any of these, you have to follow Imam Jafar. Say, no, you make your own, because we are very intelligent. Everyone has to just make up their own minds. Why you have to follow, why you have to be a slave to that. So it looks as if they are fighting against each other. The West is fighting against Wahhabism, but both in theory, both in their philosophy and ideology is the same, and both in their practices is the same. They're just standing in different corners. That one, their Shaykh Ibn Taymiyyah, he was thrown into a well. He was punished. He was not even given a proper burial because he is out of the borders of Islam, whatever that he said. That is their Shaykh, and they took his teaching. Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, what was he? Who was he? What kind of power did he have? Nothing. He had nothing. His own brothers and his own fathers were condemning him for his views. How did he become so powerful? How did he become so powerful that now he named a whole peninsula, a whole land mass after his name? Prophet is giving him this. Which saint is giving him this? Nothing. But who is supporting? So we are living in the end of times. We're living now in the times, in this Mevlud time. We're seeing more bloodshed that is happening. We're seeing that rahmat is being taken away from this world. Those who should be speaking, those scholars, those shaykhs, they should be speaking up against the tyrants. They don't speak against the tyrants. They don't speak about tyranny. They don't warn them. They don't warn the nation. All they know how to say is love of the Prophet. Love, 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 Prophet. Islam is love. Lights, 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 love, love, love. Or saying, everyone just do whatever you want. It's none of my business. Everyone is free. This world is in hell. We made a hell to ourselves. And those ones are supposed to lead us out of this hell. But who are those ones that they're not even reminding people you're living in hell? They're saying, no, 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 this hell, this is paradise. Those must be shaitans, or they must be agents of shaitans. Those who are saying this world is paradise, now they're agents of shaitan. Because this kind of thing, not even the Christians and the Jews, they believe that this world now is paradise. Not even the unbelievers. Not even those ones who are calling themselves atheists. Because so many, they are atheists also. They don't know Islam. So they deny the God that the Jews and the Christians they are showing to be a God. Bruh, if you tell me, astaghfirullah, if you tell me that the God that I'm worshipping is this naked man, surrounded by naked babies, going to touch this naked young man, I will become an atheist too. That's why more people believe in Santa Claus than they believe in God. Because at least Santa Claus, I gave him just some cookies, some milk, and he gave me presents. But they forget the history of Santa Claus too. Santa Claus was Krampus. You know Krampus? He is coming from the German, from Northern Europe, and he's saying, yeah, I give presents for the good children. For the bad children, I'm going to whip them. I'm going to torture them. They change everything. So now, there's no more belief. There's just the love of this world. Jews don't believe anymore. Christians, they cease to believe anymore. Muslims, following the Jews and the Christians. There's only belief in this world, trust in this world, the love of this world. Everyone, they are looking with new eyes, saying now we enter into a new phase in the world. All Muslim countries saying this is new, especially with this Trump, So everything is like changing. So now everyone is going to do whatever that they have always wanted to do, because suddenly the arrangement is broken. When the arrangement is broken that so carefully they were putting for over 100 years, suddenly this guy came, it is all broken, so they say, now it's broken, no longer we're going to make our own. So we have all these other nations rising. Definitely, it is rising. India is rising. China, it is rising. Africa, they're not going to make it to rise. But it may. Now, everyone is now moving, all the Muslim countries now renegotiating everything. Because they say these ones will bring us to the riches of this world. Once we love this world, then we can practice our Islam. Then we can have our Iman. Then we can worship. Subhanallah. Your Prophet is teaching you this. When they came to him and they said to him, we will give you the world. They came to the Prophet ﷺ and they said, we will give you the world. We will give you the wealth you can never imagine. We will give you the position that we never will give to anyone. We will make you to become a king. We will make you to be a lion, you who are an orphan. We will make you to be the connection of all the major noble tribes in Arabia. At that time, what did the Prophet have around him? Just a handful of people. He was not in a strong position to even negotiate. But they understood the power of La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, and how with those words this whole system is going to fall down. The Prophet came alone with a handful of people, but whole systems they fell. Those systems, they were there for thousands of years. Persia was ruling. America ruled for what? 300 years? Is alive for 300 years. Is ruling maybe for 100 years. Yeah. Those are the nations. Persia. Those are the nations. Byzantines. Those are the nations that were belonging to them. They were there for thousands of years. Thousands. And with La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, they all fell. And they understood. So they came to him and they say, we'll give you everything. You know what? We will become Muslims. This is the point that every scholar almost in this world right now, they fail. They came to him, the mushriks, and they say, we will become Muslims. We will worship Allah. For 1 year, we'll worship Allah together with you. Next year, we will worship the idols. Next year, we're going to worship Allah. So, interfaith. Love, right? Don't judge. You know, La ilaha illallah, everyone. La ilaha illallah. You know, do like that. Everything is the same. What did the Prophet say? You think the Prophet ﷺ did not have enough intelligence to say, okay, let me to become the king, marry all this, get all the wealth, let us to worship 1 year and like that, and I'll place all my people here, then in a few years we'll take over. You think he doesn't know how to do that? You think he doesn't know how to have that intelligence to say that? But he said, if you have the power to put the sun in my right hand and the moon in my left, I will not abandon this religion for nothing. The scholars, they left all that. They lost all of that. That's why they negotiate so much. That's why they can say, we accept everyone. Let's first accept all the 73 different groups in Islam. Let's first accept that. They put their signature. The scholars of today, they have signed their deeds to hell. They have put their signature to say, we accept the 73 different groups that the Prophet says that is in Islam. It will be divided into 73 different groups. We accept all of them. Did the Prophet say he accepts all of them? Or did he say only one is accepted? The rest, they're heading to hellfire. But scholars of today, mashallah, they have more tolerance and they have more wisdom and they have more mercy than the Prophet. They accept. They have done that. So they have a lot of tolerance. First, we start with that. First, we're going to accept all the different groups in Islam. That one is who? That one is cursing at Hazrati Ali. No, don't make takfir. Accept it because it says La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, right? Okay. That one is cursing at Hazrati Abu Bakr Siddiq, Hazrati Aisha, cursing at them. It's okay, accept them too. And the hadith is saying, don't curse at them. Another hadith prophet is saying, you curse at them, you curse at me. You curse at me, you're cursing at Allah. What are the groups? Other groups that denying everything. Accept them, it's okay. Other groups, they calling themselves Muslims, but like this or like that, they worship shaytan. There are groups. They call themselves what? Yazidis. It's okay, accept. The Ibadis, they're modern day Yazidis. What are they? The Khawarij. Accept them, it's okay. First they start with that, then later they're going to say, well, Ahlul Kitab, we accept them too. Why not? What is it? Christmas. Oh, let's cut Christmas cake. Happy birthday to you. You know that one? Happy birthday to you. Christmas. Celebrate. It's okay. What are you celebrating? That so many Muslims now, they're getting ready to celebrate Christmas. Celebrating the birth of the Son of God. Hasha, astaghfirullah. No matter how you twist it, you're going to say, no, we're celebrating the birth of Isa. He was not born on that day, bruh, idiot. Even the Christians, they know 25th of December is not the date that Isa alayhi salam, Jesus, was born into this world. It was a pagan date. It was specific. So you're celebrating this, wrong upon wrong. Darkness upon darkness, not light upon light that you have. They say, no, it's about togetherness. You finish all the Muslim holidays, Muslim feasts, Muslim celebrations. You finish all the Jummahs in this life that you want to jump to have togetherness. Now we have people celebrating Thanksgiving. Muslims are not understand what is the history of Thanksgiving in this country. You are celebrating the massacre of the original people in this country. And you're celebrating. No, it's about togetherness. What togetherness? You're just satisfying your ego. If you want to give Thanksgiving, don't eat. Don't eat. Really, if you want to celebrate Thanksgiving, fast that day. Whatever food you have, give to the poor people. That time you give thanks to Allah. But no, Thanksgiving is just turning themselves into khinzir, turning themselves into animals, just eating and stuffing themselves and watching football. Where is the nobility now? Where does it turn you to become a human, to become a man? How does it increase your intelligence, your compassion? Forget about wasting that happens in this season. Now Muslims, they are rushing to celebrate all of this, step by step into the lizard's hole. This is what we're fallen. When you don't hold on to the sunnah of the Rasulullah ﷺ, that is handed down from his sahabis to the tabi'ins. When you take the sunnah, you take Quran yourself directly, you have one group that will say, all of you are wrong, I am right, you are kafir, I can kill you. Or you have another group to say, everything is right, you don't agree with us, we'll put you into trouble too. You have to celebrate. Why stop at Christmas now? Why stop at Christmas? Why don't you do everything? Now they have Muslim carols, Christmas carols. Huh? Have you lost your mind? Have you lost your mind? No, we're living with Christians. We have to show our familiarity. They're going to get upset at us if we don't celebrate Christmas. Why? They don't even care. You know what? There's news for you. They don't even like us. And if you're going to bend over backwards to kiss their, they're going to look even lower on you. Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Bless me. So Muslims, they lost their mind. There is no honor because they're not looking to the honor of the Prophet. You think this is the only time in 1,400 years Muslims are living next to Christians? Yeah? Christians and Jews have always lived with Muslims for over 1,400 years. From the Umayyads to the Abbasis to the Seljuks to the Fatimis, even especially to the Ottomans, that they were placed, at least you can say in the Far East, they were very far from Europe. But now with the Ottomans, they were in Europe. What did they do? Ottomans, for 600 years. For 600 years, they were raising the banner of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. They were celebrating Mawlid. As a whole empire, they were celebrating Mawlid. Those who are not celebrating Mawlid, they do other things. They say, you must be extremist. You must be those ones who have no love. You have no place in here. It was even an imperial decree during the time of the Ottomans. No one can say anything about Ibn Arabi. That everyone is talking whispers now, don't know whether he's this or he's that. By the Ottoman sultans and the fatwas given by the Shaykhul Islam says, don't you speak anything against him. You don't know. He knows the Zahir and he knows the Batin. Take from the Zahir is okay. The Batin you don't know, don't speak. Everyone had manners back then, and there was power that was given. So everything from the sultans, they were celebrating the Mawlid. What were they doing celebrating the Mawlid? Especially they were collecting, they're seeing, where are the Ahlul Bayt? Where are the Ahlul Bayt? Because in the time of the Ottomans, people were not trying to be one another. People were not disappearing, assimilating like people today. People were having honor in their own identities, in their own culture, in their own food, in their own dressing, in their own religion. They were not under the pressure to look like everyone else. There was no pressure even to speak Turkish. So they were celebrating the Mawlid. And they were taking the Ahlul Bayt. And the people at that time, because they had their own separate identities, it was very easy now. There was no confusion. The Ahlul Bayt, they're always known by the turbans that they're wearing, the color of the turbans that they're wearing, where they are. They don't work one single day in their lives. It is made forbidden for them to work. The state was giving them a salary every month because you are descendants of the Prophet. It is not honorable for you to work. We will give you whatever you need. Your job is to pray for the nation. And especially in the time of Mawlid, they were giving such high honor. And they were giving very high respect to the Ahlul Bayt, inviting them for Mawlids, feeding the orphans, feeding the poor people, feeding those ones whom the Prophet loved, especially those ones who were oppressed. How you think otherwise an Islamic empire like that, surrounded by enemies for hundreds of years, is able to stand? How you think? The other ones, they stood for 100, 200, 300 years maximum. This one is standing. And standing at a time when the world was going through so many changes in these few hundred years. Right in Europe. And what did they say? What were the Shaykhul Islams? What were the Muftis? What were they saying? They are saying to make good relations with the unbelievers. You have to believe what they believe in? Where is this madness? You can have good relations with anyone. You don't have to believe in what they believe in. In fact, Allah is saying, to you your religion and to me mine. Say that. He's not saying your religion now we should force and we should try to change it and do everything. Or you should force and be having to observe our religion. No. It says to you your religion and to me mine. And in those times, in Islamic empires, they were ruling for hundreds of years. And they had power. Tell me where it is that they are making the unbelievers to celebrate any of the Muslim holidays. No. So Muslims, when you don't have a heart, when you're not connected to Allah, when you don't fear Allah, then Allah will make you to be fearing from everyone else. Everything else you're going to start having paranoia, anxiety, you're going to start fearing. You want to celebrate? Celebrate. It's out of my hands. Do whatever you want. My job is to say, this is not something I'm going to force. I cannot. Mute it. If you want to go, go. Some they left. One of the reasons I say don't. If you want to visit your family, this is Shaykh and his law, it's not mine. If you want to visit your family, yes, Christmas, people getting together, you want to visit your family, don't go on that day. Go later. So meaning, now, you know, we understand you living in these kinds of situation too. Make just a symbolic gesture. You understand? The people will celebrate Christmas for what, 12 days? The song goes, right? Next day they have Boxing Day. They box. You know, Boxing Day, they box. Because now they say, oh, we remember 26, we have to start giving presents to our servants. That's why it's called Boxing Day. MashaAllah. What a rahmat Christmas is. So, we know you're still celebrating it, but just as a symbolic gesture, don't do that on that day. Some, they're so stubborn and they're so arrogant, they say no. They lost. You're going to lose your faith too. You're going to get into trouble. Because with that kind of weak faith, it cannot save you. Don't say, this one put curse on him, that one put curse on him. We have nothing. It's not our job to put eyes or curses on people too. People do that on us 24 hours, definitely. But we're not looking to you. We're looking to our Shaykh. We're looking to our Grand Shaykh. We're looking to our Prophet. And we're looking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, now, we're nearing to these times. And Allah is testing too. Yesterday was the first Thursday night. The first Thursday night, holy night, in this holy day, holy month of RabiulAwwal. Yesterday was also Thanksgiving. I wonder how many Muslims are getting together to make zikr and to make mawlid, and how many they're getting together to celebrate the killing of Native Americans by having a Thanksgiving and eating turkey. Yeah. Maybe some of our murids are doing that behind my back too. Later, don't do these things. It's not too good. Because these things, they don't pull the blessings. It's not my word or Shaykh Efendi's words. They're not pulling blessings. How can you be celebrating the massacre of one group of people that you're stepping on their land? It's not pulling blessings. Then later, if something happens, you're going to cry a lot, and you come to me and say, pray for us. I will look at you and I said, my prayer is not working. I don't believe in the power of my prayer anyway. I believe in Shaykh and his prayers. So, later something happens, don't cry. You put it to yourself. Don't blame no one. Don't even blame Allah, especially, please. You pulled it to yourself. Because you're so stubborn. Why? You have to eat the turkey, bruh? Do you really have to do it? You have to eat the turkey, you have to eat the sweet potato, you have to eat cranberry. You have to do that. What happens if you don't do that? You die? What happened? Okay, maybe I understand America so much because it's in their blood, you know. They're eating it every year for hundreds of years. Maybe their blood is cranberry juice and their meat is turkey is become. These immigrant Muslims coming, what is your excuse? Bruh, you're filled with biryani. You're filled with, what else? Olive oil. You're filled with, I have to be fair, later this year I'm always hitting the Pakistanis. You're filled with fish curry. You're filled with so many other things. Why? Subhanallah. Huh? I don't understand. Run after things that is going to give you faith. Don't run after things that will take faith away from you. They will take faith away from us through changing our lifestyle. They will not tell you, don't pray, don't believe in Allah, don't believe in the Prophet. No Muslim is going to change his mind about that. Believe me. But they will say, why are you wearing a hijab? Why are you torturing yourself? They're going to say, why you have to keep a beard? You're torturing yourself. They say, why you have to make zikr? They say, why you cannot drink? They say, why you don't smoke? They say, why you don't participate in everything that is happening in this world? You see, they're not bad people. Those people who are drinking and smoking, they're good people. Just fit in. Allah will understand. Slowly, when we start changing the way we live, we start believing in the way we live. Once we start believing in the way we live, we're in trouble. These words, first, they are for me. And for those who are listening. You like it, you take it. You don't like it, leave it. But I am in need of this. Inshallah. And these words coming to us through our shaykhs, coming to us through the holy ones. And they are for us to protect ourselves in this dunya and the akhirat. Nothing else. وَمِنَ اللَّهُ تَوْفِيقٍ الْفَاتِحَةِ. Amen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. As much is enough, inshallah. Fatiha. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Alright, anything else anyone wants to say?